The Krazathi war pack had boarded over 300 vessels in their raiding career. They were apex predators of the space lanes, feared across 17 systems. Their exoskeletons gleamed with battle scars. Their mandibles clicked with anticipation as their breach pod clamped onto the hull of the human cargo freighter. Commander Thraxul reviewed the scan data one final time. A crew of only 12. Minimal armaments. Standard commercial vessel. It would be over in minutes. The cutting torch burned through the airlock. Atmosphere hissed. The Krazathi warriors poured through the breach, weapons ready, expecting the usual surrender or panicked flight. Instead, they found something else entirely. The human crew wasn't running. They stood in the corridor, tools in hand, expressions not of fear but of grim determination. The lead human, a woman with graying hair and cold eyes, stepped forward. "You've made a mistake," she said simply. Thraxul's translator rendered her words, but he dismissed them. Humans were known to be soft, diplomatic. Their vessels carried minimal weapons because they preferred negotiation. Easy prey. "Surrender your cargo and you may live," Thraxul chittered, raising his plasma rifle. The woman smiled. It wasn't a friendly expression. "We tried peace," she said. "We tried diplomacy. We tried being the bigger species." She cracked her knuckles. "But you know what humanity learned over 10,000 years of killing each other before we ever reached the stars?" The Krazathi shifted uneasily. Something was wrong. The humans weren't afraid. "We learned that sometimes the only language predators understand is violence." The lights cut out. In the darkness, the Krazathi activated their thermal imaging. They could see the humans clearly now, heat signatures glowing, but the humans weren't running. They were advancing. The first Krazathi warrior fell when a pipe wrench crushed his thorax with shocking force. The second went down to a welding torch applied directly to his visual sensors. The third found a maintenance bot reprogrammed to grind through his exoskeleton. Thraxul fired blindly into the darkness, but the humans moved like they were born in shadows. They used the ship itself as a weapon, venting compartments, flooding sections with superheated steam, collapsing bulkheads. This wasn't their first time defending their vessel. It wouldn't be their last. One by one, the Krazathi raiders fell. Not to superior weapons or technology, but to something far more terrifying: human creativity and violence. Every tool became lethal. Every system became a trap. The humans fought with a calculated brutality that spoke of a species that had spent millennia perfecting the art of killing. Thraxul found himself alone, backing toward the breach point. His squad, his veteran warriors, were gone, and now the humans were converging on him. "Your species has been raiding for what, a century?" the gray-haired woman asked, stepping into view. Her jumpsuit was splattered with ichor. "Humanity has been at war for its entire existence. We fought each other with sticks and stones, then bronze and iron, then gunpowder and nuclear fire. We nearly exterminated ourselves a dozen times." She picked up a fallen Krazathi plasma rifle, examined it, then tossed it aside dismissively. "You think you're predators? We domesticated wolves. We hunted mammoths to extinction. We conquered every biome on our death world. We invented warfare as an art form." She leaned closer. "You should have left us alone." Thraxul turned and ran. Behind him, he heard the humans laughing. They weren't even chasing him. They were letting him go. He scrambled through the breach into his pod, fingers trembling as he initiated separation. As the pod pulled away, he activated the communication channel. "Fleet Command, this is Thraxul. The raid has failed. The entire pack is lost. I repeat, all warriors lost." "Impossible," came the response. "Against a commercial vessel?" "Update the database," Thraxul said, watching the human freighter grow smaller in his view screen. Lights were coming back on. The humans were already repairing the breach. Already moving on with their day. "Mark all human vessels as military targets. Maximum threat level. Acknowledged." "What happened?" Thraxul looked at his shaking claws, felt the unfamiliar sensation of his 3 hearts racing in terror. He had raided countless species, had faced warriors and soldiers, but he had never truly known fear until today. "We thought they were prey," he whispered. "We were wrong. Humans aren't prey. They're not even predators. They're something worse. They're survivors. And survivors fight dirtier than any predator ever could." The communication officer was silent for a moment. "New orders incoming. All packs are to avoid human vessels unless absolutely necessary. The Council has issued an advisory." "Good," Thraxul said. "But make sure the advisory includes one more thing." "What's that?" If you absolutely must board a human vessel, bring an army. And even then, pray to the void that you're lucky. Back on the freighter, Captain Elena Martinez wiped her wrench clean and surveyed her crew. Everyone was accounted for, minor injuries only. The raiders' bodies were being jettisoned into space. "Engineering, how long until we can jump?" she asked. 20 minutes, Captain. Good. Medical, patch everyone up. We've got a delivery to make. She paused, then added, "And someone update the company log. Today's the day the Krasathi learned why humanity doesn't need warships on every trade route." Her first officer grinned. "What should I put in the report?" Elena thought for a moment, then smiled coldly. "Put this. We tried to warn them." The freighter's engines flared to life, and it continued on its route. One more incident in the long, bloody education of the galaxy on a simple truth. You don't board a human vessel, not if you want to live. Because humans don't just survive, they make sure everyone remembers why.